opened in 1914. As one of two corps commanders, Hague conducted a 200-mile fighting retreat from Mons to the Miracle on the Marne. There, the French, with those famous taxis, rushing the Paris garrison out to attack the German flanks, the tide was turned, and the Germans pulled back to prepared positions over the River Aisne, and trench war began on the Western Front. This was where Hague said the war would be decided, and that all else would be costly sideshows, disasters at Gallipoli and Salonika, defeat in Mesopotamia, though eventual victory, and possibly ultimately fruitlessly wasted guns to Russia and Italy could support this view. Nevertheless, there were at the time other opinions, and to his frustration he saw men and material he wanted diverted to other theatres of war. As 1914 gave way to 1915, Ray Sutton made the claim for Hague the Bungler. He stated that the Germans repulsed the attacks at Festubert because Hague failed to recognise that the enemy had defences in depth, that he lacked the imagination to plan a great campaign, and was certainly blind to logistical problems, and, quoting Lloyd George, ought to have been employed in a subordinate position. David Humberstone of the Western Front Association, Leicester branch, from the floor observed of Ray Sutton that the gentleman has frequently quoted from Lloyd George, who had no time for Hague and wished, opportunely some say, to disassociate himself from the heavy losses when he published his diaries in 1936. Humberstone also noted, like Woods earlier, that Hague's armies won, but the British public have historically shown far more affinity with dead heroes or gallant losers. Scott of the Antarctic, Wolfe of Quebec, Nelson of Trafalgar, Gordon of Khartoum, etc., than with a winner who lives to tell the tale. Matthew Seligman added that British casualties in the Second World War are lower than in the First. There are three reasons they got nothing to do with Hague. One is improved medicine. Another is that we spent 4 years in France from 1914 to 1918. We get kicked out of France in 1940 and we don't come back until 1944. This leads to the third reason, which is that we let the Russians do the dying. 27 million Soviet citizens die fighting the Second World War. Hague is, by now, First Army Commander, but Ray Sutton seems not convinced of his competency, because this promotion, he said, in part was facilitated through his long association with Sir John French, who was the British Commander-in-Chief. But Michael Woods quoted Churchill with regard to the temper and fortitude of Sir Douglas Haig in confronting the vast and novel issues of the Great War. But Neil Faulkner saw no merit for Haig in his fortitude. I don't identify with Britain's rulers then or after helping themselves to bits of the world. All that happens is the policeman's uniform changes.